Warning, this entire video is my opinion, so I do not care what you have to say.
Hey, what's going on? This is my candy tier list. So, first off, we got like the 4 classics. For Hershey's, I'd say they're a bit overrated because they're only chocolate, and I'm talking about classic Hershey's, but it's really just really basic, and I'm not really a fan of the just classic Hershey because it's just basic chocolate. So I think I'm gonna go with maybe probably a solid B tier for Hershey. Moving on, we got Kit Kat. Now I like this because it's chocolate, but it got something else with it. It doesn't just leave you hanging, which is that plain boring taste. So I'm gonna have to put Kit Kat a space ahead of Hershey's, only because it's just that extra bit better. With Twix, I kind of like them. It's like that cookie taste, but I don't know. I'm not sure what cookie it is, but it's chocolate and it's pretty good. So, although it does not compare to other types of candies, I'm gonna give it a C tier. Next up, we got Snickers. Snickers is pretty good. It's better than Twix in my opinion, only because it's caramel, nut, and chocolate, so it gets like all that good stuff combined. But I'm not sure on whether it's A or B because it's not quite as good as Kit Kat, but it's way better than Hershey's, so I'm probably just gonna put it in between A and B. Alright, so the next few I got are M&M's, Reese's, and Crunch. I'm gonna start off with M&M's. I relatively like these, but similar to Hershey's, I'm not too big a fan of M&M's, only because they are very chocolatey, and they don't have anything else to provide for the taste. But unlike Hershey's, they do have that satisfying crunch to them. But if we were going by peanut M&M's, then this is an easy S tier. But because it's just normal M&M's, I'm gonna have to put it in a solid A tier. Next up, we got Reese's, and I know you people are probably gonna judge me for this, but I'm not a big fan of Reese's. I just don't like that it's like all peanut butter with a bit of chocolate. I feel like there should be other texture in there, because when I eat these, it's just super soft and it tastes a bit weird. But I'm not too big a fan of Reese's. I really don't like them. So I'm gonna give it a D tier. Next up, we got Crunch. Crunch is pretty good because similar to Kit Kat, it has a chocolate to it, but it also has something else in there to push it the extra yard forward, and it's pretty great candy bar. So I actually really like them. So it's about on par with Kit Kat and M&M's. So with our next batch, we got Milky Way, Butterfinger, and Whoppers. I'm going to start off with Milky Way. I'm also not a big fan of these. They're about as bad as Reese's, but because they just have also really weird texture, they are a bit worse than Reese's, so I'm probably going to put them down in E tier, just below Reese's. The next one we got is Butterfinger. Now, once again, you probably are going to judge me, but I don't like Butterfingers. They just have a too much of a flaky texture, and they also have a weird taste because it says peanut butter, but it's not too much of a peanut butter treat. So I actually don't really like Butterfinger, like I said before, but I'll probably put it with Reese's. Next one we got is Whoppers. I actually hate these. They have zero taste. They taste like coffee, but like a camel dragged their nuts across it. So I actually hate Whoppers. They're garbage. They taste terrible. They have this really weird texture, and you're literally putting chocolate nut in your mouth. So I'm going to put these really low on the F tier. So with these candies, I'd actually consider them more cheaper and lower level besides Skittles. But Tootsie Rolls, Smarties, and any kind of sucker, they're relatively cheap, and that also comes at a cost, making them a bit lower on the tier list on average. So I'll start with Smarties. And with Smarties, I'm not too big of a fan, only because they're a bit too sugary, and none of them really taste different. They all taste the same, so what's the point in coloring them? It's basically the same thing with Fruit Loops. So, although I will say they are better than the worst candy ever, which is Whoppers. So I'll put them at E tier. Next up, we got Skittles. Skittles they're really good, but sometimes when you eat them, you just get that weird stuff in your throat, you know? And they do taste different, unlike Smarties or Fruit Loops. But the sour ones are very baller. But they just don't hold up when it comes to the others above them. So I'm probably just gonna keep them at B tier. With Tootsie Roll, yes, they taste decent. Like, it's just chocolate, but it's like this. It's almost like tobacco for children, but it's chocolate, you know? So, they're decent. They don't taste too bad. So, I'm gonna put them on D tier. Next up, we got suckers. Now, this depends on what sucker you got. Like, if you're using a Tootsie Pop, it's probably a bit higher. If you're using a Dum Dum, it's also higher. But if you get these, like, off-brand weird stuff, then no, it's garbage. So, on average, I'm just gonna give it a middle spot on the tier list, which I'll put it at C. And then the final candy I have on this tier list is obviously the best candy bar there is out there, in my opinion. It's chocolatey, it tastes nice, it's simple, it's relatively cheap, they're nice, although they are sometimes a bit hard to come across. They're one of the best candies, they are amazing, and that candy is the Mr. Good bar. These are baller, they're S tier, they're the best, they're the absolute king of candy bars. So, I'm obviously gonna put it at S tier. So that's my tier list, and if you get anything really above C tier, you youngins, you're probably gonna get the best Halloween there is. But if you get E tier or any type of Whopper, you're gonna have the worst Halloween. And to you adults or anyone else handing out candy, make sure you stock up on the Mr. Good bars. That's all. See you guys another time.